Hi, it's me, if you haven't noticed. I'm coming right back at you with another topic here, which is kind of a not so pleasant, I guess, of a topic, but it's got pleasant things about it. I mean, not the topic itself, but just some of the stuff. Today was kind of a good day. I mean, it was just really nice and like mid 70s and a lot of sun, and it was just beautiful day. And like when it's this time of year for me, and I'm a summer person, I'm not a winter person. When this time of year and you've had a cold, like 55 degree previous week, unseasonably cold, and came back up to seasonable temperatures, and the weeks of this kind of weather are just fading quick. You really try to, or personally, I really try to just enjoy, each one of these days, because there's only a handful of them left, this time of year. And today, like several of the past couple days, I, really tried to suck up the weather. And and just enjoy it. So my car, I brought my car in to this shop where me and my dad have been taking our vehicles for probably the last 10 years. It's like an independently owned shop, I think, by this guy, and it's not a big like kind of I don't bring my car to the dealer or anything like that. And hopefully for a relatively minor problem, I'm expecting it to be hopefully relatively minor, but this particular car shop is so close that I drop the car off and walk home, and walk there to go get it. And I'm really lucky about that as well, just on a side note. So I was dropping my car off today, and there was this guy who came in and was waiting for the guy to get off the phone and help me, and then he was gonna, I think this guy knows the owner of the shop, so I gave the owner my information, yada yada, it's this kind of car, this is what's wrong with it, here's my phone number, here's my name, and I spelt my name, and this guy's like, oh, you're so-and-so's son. And I'm like, yeah, meaning my dad. And I'm like, how did you know him? And this guy's like, in high school, he was a great guy, and he's like, sorry for your loss, and if you don't know, I might as well just say it in this video. I mean, he's not on extended vacation. My dad is dead. He's been dead for the last 4 years as of September 2nd. That was the 4th anniversary of his death. And so this guy, I don't think I'd ever met him or anything like that. I don't know when the last time my dad saw him either. But it prompted this. I was going to eventually do a video about this, but like so often things happen in your daily life or something that prompts the feelings to return again. So I'm like, well, this is a perfect example or perfect occurrence of events to come home and basically do this topic, which I was going to get to eventually. So I'll just say that then I walked home. It was kind of melancholy. Well, before I get into that, let me just say, obviously, then I walked home, and it was sunny, and it was probably 74, 75 degrees, and just, another thing I want to mention that is very fresh on my mind because I just walked home, did a lot of walking today, is that I don't know what the hell it is. I should walk a lot more often, because walking, it's like there's gears and pulleys like connected from your legs all the way up through your body into your brain. It's like walking for me helps the brain to it propels the brain, or it stimulates the brain for thinking in my particular case. And I don't know if that's how it is for other people, but I was walking home on this beautiful day, and I was just doing all kinds of thinking. I was thinking heavily about just having seen a former friend of my dad's and never necessarily having met him before, and also wondering when the last time he had seen my dad, and obviously he knew about my dad's passing and stuff, and something about actually seeing someone who was a friend of my dad just brings the reality of him being gone so much into the forefront. Something where it's obviously not normally there. I mean, it's always there. I wouldn't even say it's always there. I mean, I don't think about the fact that my dad's gone forever every single waking moment of my life, and I'm glad. I'm glad I don't, because that would be a really depressing way to live. So basically what I'm saying is, when something like this happens, where it's brought to the forefront, and it makes me realize, holy shit, he's dead. It's kind of depressing, because it's like, I think I mentioned it on one of my river videos. I think it might have been the video titled 10 Years of Kayaking, or Kayaking for 10 Years, I think is the one that I actually thought of my dad again, and was just like, had an on-camera realization that, oh my God, he's not on vacation, he's not in Europe, he's dead, he's gone forever, we'll never see him again. And when this kind of stuff happens, and you actually see someone who used to be a friend of your dad, I don't know, I guess what I'm saying is it just brings, you know, the reality, which is him being gone forever and never seeing him again, to the forefront, and I guess it's just depressing. But I just wanted to make a video about, that's the depressing element of this video. But I want to be sure to talk about and stress also what I found. It was just it was just a weird day, because it was like, I take the car in for hopefully relatively minor and not too terribly expensive little bit of service, and come across a high school friend of my dad's, and have this beautiful walk home. And then I had this beautiful, you know, walk home to think about that, and I got a little teary right away, because it's painful to think about that he's gone forever and I'll never see him. And I was just walking, and I was becoming very much aware of how much, goddamn it, it's like, I like walking. It's like, this is exactly what I need right now, especially after seeing a former friend of my dad's. And it's just like, why don't I walk every day? Why don't I walk more often? It was like something about walking home today from dropping the car off at the shop was so therapeutic. And it, like I say, it was like it turned the gears in my head more than they would be just sitting on the fucking couch, or laying in bed, or just being like just an inanimate object. I don't know what it was today. It was just all kinds of feelings, and then also my excitement in the positive week, as far as, you know, having a new job and starting a new job next week, and hoping for the best for that, and just have the weather having, you know, improved this week and gotten better. So it's just a combination of being a better week than last week, and also just beautiful, enjoyable walk home, and just this melancholy of being reminded that my dad's gone forever. So it was just, today was just a weird emotional day, you know. And I just wanted to, I don't know what the hell I guess I just wanted to share that. I don't know what my point of the video was. I guess in closing, I'll say that's it. I mean, the title of this video is I Miss My Dad. And the occurrence, obviously, having met his former friend, as I said, obviously just brought memories of him and what life was like with him to the forefront. You know, my mom more or less kind of kicked me out, you know, after the divorce. She took me, and I lived with her. After their divorce, I lived with her, and she abused me mentally and physically, so those years sucked, and I was kind of, she kicked me out when I was 12. I wish she would have done it sooner, because as soon as I went to live with my dad, it was like stability. You know, obviously, well, it's not obvious, but no more, you know, physical or mental abuse. It was just this soft, you know, like cotton balls of you know, just supportive love when I moved to my dad's. And I'd spent basically exactly 20 years with him. I lived with him for 20 years up until he died, you know, up until the time he died. So the last 20 years of his life was, you know, I spent with him, so he became, over those years, my favorite person in my entire life, and the biggest support of me for my videos and short films and movies. And like I say, the last video, the last movie I did was a feature, and this epic slasher kind of comedy movie, and he helped me. He was a big integral part of making that movie actually happen. I mean, it was me and him who made that whole thing, and it's like we got closer and closer every single year, and that's why it was such a tragedy when he was when he left, or however you want to say it, when he passed. So that's it. I miss my dad, and my favorite person I've ever known, and it's like I can deal, I guess, day by day, but then there'll be occurrences like this that bring into the forefront, or bring to light that, geez, you know, this, because at this point, 4 years after his death, it's just like it's only been 4 years, but for me it seems like it's been at least 8 years or 10 years, or it seems like it's been a lot longer than it has. And after a while, like 4 years on after his death, for me it seems like, in a lot of ways, it's like my life was never any, this is how my life, it feels like this is how my life always was. And I guess maybe that's what makes it hard whenever you meet a former friend of your dad, or anything that makes you think of my dad, a former friend of my dad, or anything that makes you think of my dad. It's just like, it makes you realize, holy crap, you know, this is not how your life has always been. You haven't always been alone, and you haven't always had no support, and you haven't always, you know, had no one to turn to. You actually, there was a point when you had someone in your life that was very important to you, and someone who supported you like you know, in amazing ways, in uncompromising support, you know, for all, you know, the great majority of my interests. If I wanted to, you know, he paid for half of my kayak. If I wanted to take up kayaking, he was gracious enough to help pay for it. And, you know, anything that I wanted to do, he was there, you know, he was supportive. And that, along with many innumerable things about who he was and who he was to me, make it very hard whenever it's brought to the forefront that he's gone, and he's gone for good. That's why I try not to think about it, you know, as much as I try to not think about it at all. Because my life has been this way for what feels like so long. Like I say, I feel like this is how it always has been. But no, I once had uncompromising support and love that you could just feel when he came home from work. And I don't know, potentially I'll never meet anyone again in my life who touched me the way my dad not in that way. I'm talking about who moved me, you know, like when he came home from work, or whenever he'd come visit me at my work, or whenever I was in the same room with him. Just the positive, supportive energy would fill the air, and it'd be an aura of love and acceptance. And I don't think I'm ever going to experience that from anyone again in my entire life. So that, combined with just so much of what made him amazing and great, is what obviously makes having lost him so hard. So thank you very much for watching, and I guess we're out of time. But I pretty much said everything I have to say regarding this topic anyway. And like always, we just keep on trucking, because I don't know why. I think because our DNA tells us to. You know, live as long as we can. I don't know. It's just ingrained in our being and who we are. So keep on trucking, and as always, I will catch you in the next video.